Well, here I am at the news position that you usually use. So let me show you how I have NewsBoss set up. And this is set up, it works pretty well for me to page down through stories during an hour. You'll see up here I have the hour cues that are set up. So I've got the 6 a.m., the 7 a.m., and the 8 a.m. I think that when you use it, you have it down. You have a lot of this unnecessary stuff that I don't need to look at, like the individual hours, the wires, and things like that. If you just click on this right here, you can get your cues, and you get to your cues by going to, this is 3:57 a.m. You right-click on that, and then you have Add Cue to Tabs. And when you add Cue to Tabs, that sets it up. So now let me close that. And now the 3:57 a.m. newscast is added here to these tabs, so you can just tab to it. And when you tab to an hour, then I have all of these different elements of that hour. So here's the 6 a.m. hour, and you'll notice I'm just going to use the down button here to page down through the stories. So the story changes on this screen as I use the downward arrow, and then I just use the 0 key to fire off the carts. I never click on the carts. I use the 0 key, which is in the numlock position. You probably know that already, to fire the carts. The other thing that I do is I have a dual cue on the left-hand side, so I have set up tabs for things that I like to use all the time. I have my news state wires, and I have bigger type than you do, so that's why I only have a couple things. You probably have smaller print, so you bring up more stories. And then the other thing, I always keep it on the L. Brooks tab on the lower, because that's where I put my weather forecast. And so when I go from a story up here, that's the only time I use the mouse, and then I click on the L. Brooks. And L. Brooks, I know the first item is going to be the weather forecast, because I play my own weathers, and so I can quickly select, do I want a 20-second, do I want a 30-second? It's very easy for me because it's right there. And if you have any questions about how to set that up, let me know. But I've used this system, and pretty much everybody at Como uses this system, just because it's much more efficient, especially when you're working the board and things like that, to go through the individual stories. Something that I think would help us is if these individual tabs were a different color from the stories. So if this says, the segment A, your traffic and weather, things that are in the queue, if they were like, a contrasting color, it would be very easy for you to see, oh, okay, I have to go to this story, this story, this story, and then they're separated by those element dividers. I hope that answers your questions, and let me know if it doesn't. I'll be happy to show you more, and good luck, because you're awesome. You're going to be great.